There are people who don't think better than others. They don't think faster either. They think differently. Psychologists say these minds often go unnoticed because they don't announce themselves. They reveal themselves quietly through subtle habits most people overlook. If you've ever felt like your brain doesn't quite follow the usual path, like you see patterns others miss, or feel out of sync with the world around you, these 5 behaviors may explain why. Let's start with something that often confuses the people around you. First, you need time before you answer, even when you know the answer. Someone asks you a simple question, "What did you think of the movie?" And there's a pause. You don't respond right away, not because you're unsure, but because your mind checks context before words. Psychologists call this deliberate cognitive filtering. Your brain isn't just searching for good or bad, it's scanning the cinematography, the character arcs, the subtext. It isn't reaching for the fastest response, it's looking for the most accurate one. To others, it can seem like hesitation. In reality, it's depth, your mind considering more variables than most people ever notice. And that depth often comes with a cost. The second behavior, you feel mentally exhausted after ordinary social interactions. You can enjoy people and still feel completely drained afterward. Small talk, group conversations, surface-level exchanges, they leave you tired in a way that's hard to explain. It's linked to what psychologists call continuous internal processing. Your mind doesn't idle during conversation. It's running a silent translation program in the background, tracking tone, intention, inconsistencies, emotional shifts. You're not just listening, you're interpreting. That constant analysis burns energy, quietly but steadily, leaving you needing a full system reboot. If that feels familiar, this next behavior may feel uncomfortably accurate. Number 3, you replay conversations long after they end. Not just the awkward moments, you replay entire exchanges. What was said, what wasn't, what a specific glance might have meant. This is pattern-driven reflection. Your brain stores interactions as data, not just memories. It's a detective looking for clues, for meaning, for unresolved signals long after the case is closed for everyone else. The downside, of course, is overthinking. But the upside? You develop an insight others never reach because they stopped thinking about it the moment they walked away. Here's where things take an unexpected turn. The fourth behavior seems to contradict the last 2, but it's actually born from them. You have a strong preference for solitude. This isn't about being antisocial. After all that processing, analyzing, and replaying, you need uninterrupted mental space. Solitude is maintenance. It's where you recharge. It's the quiet room your mind needs to defragment all the data it's collected to finally connect the dots and make sense of the noise. It's not loneliness, it's a fundamental requirement for your operating system to function properly. And finally, the 5th behavior, which ties everything together. You likely have a high degree of empathy and emotional intelligence. That same continuous processing that drains you in a crowd, that pattern seeking that keeps you up at night, it's also what allows you to feel what's left unsaid. You can sense the emotional weather in a room, pick up on unspoken cues, and understand complex emotional situations because you process it all so deeply. It allows for profound connection, but it's also why social interactions can feel so heavy. You're not just carrying your own feelings, you're sensing everyone else's too. So if this sounds like you, your mind isn't broken, it's just built for depth in a world that often prefers the surface. The challenge isn't to think less, but to build scaffolding around your thoughts, setting boundaries to protect your energy, scheduling time for that essential solitude, and developing the self-awareness to know when to unplug. Because these habits aren't flaws, they are the quiet, steady markers of a mind that simply sees and feels a little bit more of the world. Have you ever been so lost in something? A project, a book, a conversation, that the world around you just falls away? The clock becomes irrelevant. Hours just melt. You are completely and utterly absorbed, every part of your mind locked onto this one thing. It's a powerful, productive state. But then, just as quickly as it came, it's gone. You feel a sudden shift. You pull back. You're no longer in the moment, you're watching it. You find yourself observing the room instead of engaging with the people in it. You start analyzing the problem from a distance instead of continuing to act on it. One moment you're a participant, the next you're a spectator in your own life. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it adaptive mental shifting. It's this incredible, almost unconscious ability to zoom in, to focus with microscopic intensity, and then, in a heartbeat, to zoom out completely, to see the entire landscape from 10,000 feet. This isn't a sign of a scattered mind, far from it. It's actually common in people who think strategically or creatively. It's a sign of a mind that isn't rigid, it's flexible. And if that first part sounds familiar, if you recognize that feeling of shifting between total immersion and sudden distance, then I want you to pay very close attention to this next behavior, because it's the one that people rarely, if ever, talk about. It's this quiet, persistent feeling of being just slightly out of sync with the world, not disconnected, not in a way that makes you feel superior or aloof, just misaligned. It's like you're listening to a song where the beat is just a fraction of a second off. You notice that your own reactions to things, a joke, a piece of news, they seem to land a little later than everyone else's. Your emotions, when they hit, feel like they run a little deeper. They take a bit longer to process. Your understanding of a complex idea doesn't arrive in a flash of inspiration, but instead it forms quietly in the background until suddenly it emerges fully formed and crystal clear. This is what some psychologists refer to as asynchronous cognitive wiring. Your mind is simply processing information on its own unique timeline. It's not slower, it's not faster. It's just different. And yes, living on a slightly different wavelength can feel profoundly isolating at times. But it's also the very reason people wired this way often see the cracks in a plan before anyone else. It's why they can grasp complex systems almost intuitively, and why they are the ones who stop and question the assumptions that most people accept without a second thought. If any of this has resonated with you, if you've felt that flicker of recognition, please hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. Your mind just isn't built for the easy answer, for the noise, for the surface level chatter. It's a mind built to notice the details others miss. It's built to reflect. It's built to understand before reacting. The real challenge isn't having a mind that's wired differently. The challenge is learning to trust it, especially in a world that constantly rewards speed over depth. If this made sense to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sometimes the quietest minds have the clearest perspectives. Understanding how your own mind works isn't about finding a label. It's the first step toward finally, fully using it.